Hi there, and I'm gonna just explain how to do the final exam, so the practical exam. So if you follow these steps, then please take some time, go through it, have a cup of tea ready, and possibly follow the step afterwards. Okay, let's make a start. So this is the paper, and first of all, this is the topology. So what you have to do is have a quick look at the topology and understand what's going on here. Okay, just notice the mouse. We've got our first network here. So that is subnet A. And then we've got another network here, subnet B. And obviously in the following, when we go through the subnet calculations, you can see that we have to cater for these two subnetworks or two networks. Okay, what other information have we got? We've got a little bit of information here about the assignment, and here we've got the all-important IP addresses. Okay, right. We've got the typical calculations. So we've got the number of bits in the subnet mask and the IP mask in binary, then the new IP mask in decimal, maximum number of usable subnets, first network address, first IP, last host, and so on. Okay, let's have a look at the information. So for subnet A, and calculate subnet A first, we are supposed to use the first subnetwork, and the number of hosts are 10. Okay, let's do this calculation. Okay, so I'm just going to call up Notepad, and we're going to sort of do all this in Notepad. First of all, let me write down the IP address, which is 172.16.0.0. It's a class B private IP address. Therefore, the normal subnet mask for this IP address would be 255.0.0. So that's a standard subnet mask, and that's what we have. So the first thing I need to figure out is, for subnet A, is this figure here. I've got 10 hosts. So that means, let me just put it all down in binary, make life a lot easier. So 172 in binary, we've got a 1 to 8. We don't have a 64, so 0. Otherwise we would be at 19 something. We do have 32, which would give us 160. So we've got a 1 there. So we've got 160 in total now, so there are 12 left. And then we've got an 8 and a 4. Is this right? Quick check. So 1 to 8 plus 32 is 160. Plus 8 is 168, plus 4 is 172. Okay, so that's correct. And then the next one is fairly easy, so it's 0, 0. It's just a 16, and then we've got this there. And then we've got a bunch of zeros. So, okay, I'm just going to put my subnet mask underneath. Yeah, and the rest is all zeros. It's just a 255, 255. Okay, so that's what we can see. Now, straight away we can see that I'm just going to highlight this. All this stuff is my host portion in my subnetwork. Yeah, but what the story tells me now, all I need is 10 hosts. So the question is, how many bits do I need for 10 hosts? And if I go along here, 1 bit doesn't give me any host because it would either be broadcast or network address. 2 bits gives me 4 possibility options, and 2 hosts is always -2. 3 bits, 8 minus 2 is 6, and 4 bits, 16 minus 2 is 14, so we would get 10 hosts. Okay, so straight in now we know that all we need for our host portion is 4 bits. Yeah, 4 bits, I can count up to 16, -2 for the network portion, and for the host portion, yeah, 1 bit or one address. So we can't count them. So we've got 14 in total. Okay, right. So that means if this is my host portion here, all the others can be part of my subnet. Okay, so I maximize for my subnets. Okay, let's do this and change our subnet mask to cater for that. Okay, that's 111, 111, and then 1, 1, 1. Yeah, and now what my subnet mask is telling me that only this is my host portion. Only that bit here is my host portion. Okay, let's go back to our little. Let me see. Can I minimize this? Yeah, so I can keep them both open. Okay, so what we can do now is in our. Okay, let's do it on here first. So we've got our subnet mask. So if I look at the subnet mask here, that's in decimal. Now the new subnet mask. Just write it all down properly. New subnet mask. It's going to be 255. Yeah, that's the first one. And then 255 for the second one, 255 for the third one. And you can see this here. That's my third 255. Yeah. So it's changed a little bit from what it was before. And then the last one, that one here, this subnet mask would be 240. So if you add them all up, it's 240. If in doubt and you're not quite sure with the subnet mask, please have a look at the videos for IP addressing, the first and the last video. Okay, so we've got this. So that's good news. I'm just trying to think. Do we need anything else? Yeah. Okay. Let's fill in the form as far as we've got it. So we've got the number of bits in the subnet. We can look here. So that's our network portion. Our subnet portion starts here, and that will be the number of bits in our subnet. So I'm counting 8 plus 4 is 12. Yeah. So the answer will be 12. The IP mask and binary. Yeah, all we need to do is just highlight this thing here. Yeah, copy, and that's our. So I don't need to type it out again. In binary, paste. Yeah. New IP mask in decimal, and we get 255. Let's do it properly. 255.255.255. So that's the subnet portion on, and 240 right at the end. Maximum number of usable subnets. Again, we can look at this. So in my subnet portion, I've got 8 bits here. Yeah, and I've got another 4 bits here. So I've got 12 bits in total. So 8 would give me 256 usable subnets. Then we've got 512, 1024, 2048, 2048, 4096. Yeah. 4096. Oops, 096. So that's just doubling up. Yeah, just to show you again. So if I go to 8 bits, yeah. So this is my subnet. 8-bit gives me 256 different options. 9 bits, 1024. 10 bits, 2000 and... No, I got it wrong, didn't I? It's a bit more. 2000 and... and 48, and then the next one would be 4096. And then it should be one more than that, which is 8112. Yeah, I hope I got this right. 8112. Yeah, so that's 8112. If in doubt, 8112. One missing there. If in doubt, all you need to do is you just get your calculator. Let's do this. So we've got calc. Oops. That wasn't right. Calc. Calculator, sort of put it to scientific mode or programmer mode. I'm not sure whether scientific is going to do it. Let's have a look. Yeah, it does. Yeah. So we've got 2 to the power of... what did we say? How many bits have we got? We've got 12. Yeah, and we get the answer here. No, 4096. I was right the first time around. I'm not quite sure where I got my confusion. But anyway, 4096. That's right. 96. So it's just a matter of doubling up. Let's go through it one more time. So we've got 8 bits here, which gives me 556 different options. 9-bit gives me 256. 9-bit gives me 512. 10 bits gives me 1024. 9 2048, and 10 8 9 9 10 11 12, and 12 would be 4096. Sorry for the confusion, but anyway, we got there in the end. Right, a number of usable hosts per subnet. We have got 4 bits. 4 bits gives me 16 different options. I have to subtract 2, one for the network address and one for the host address, and that would give me 14. Let's have a look at the network address. Okay, and we have to go back to our binary. So we are looking for the first network. Our network portion starts here now. You see where the cursor is. So I'm just going to put a binary 1 there, and that's my first network, and that would be 16. So my first network would be 172, and then 16.0.16. Yeah. The first host, very easy. We just incremented by 1. Let's go back in here. So that's my first host, just incremented by 1. So we would have 172.16.0.17, and what else have we got? 172.16.0, and then that's the last host address, and all we need to do is everything in the host portion has got to be put to 1 other than the last bit. Yeah, let me just get rid of that one. And then we've got 1110, and that would be what would we have? We would have that would be 32, that would be 31, that would be 30. So we've got 30 here, and then we've got 172.16.0.31. Yeah, and so this is pretty much all we have to do for subnet A, and we have cracked it. Now subnet B is a little bit more tricky because we want the third network, so you have to go through the whole thing again and sort of try and then figure it out where we are and what we need to do. Okay, let's go for it though. Again, I'm just going to copy this expression here across, so I don't have to type it all out. So this is for the second subnet. That's what we're after. So the subnet B. Yeah. Did I get it the right way around? It's a big question, but anyway, it doesn't matter. It's either one way or the other. Let's have a look. Subnet B. Subnet B, yeah. Okay, so everything is right. We did it the right way around. Okay, let's have a look. And we will have our next calculation. Okay, just paste. I'm just going to set all this stuff to 0. Okay, that's our subnet mask, so 172.16. First of all, we need to figure out how many networks, or what our new subnet mask is, how many bits we need for our network. Okay, let's have quickly look at our given prerequisites. So what do we need to have? And it says here that we have to have 500 hosts. Yeah. So the question is, how many bits do I get with 500 hosts? 8 bits will give me 256 minus 2, 254. 9 bits will give me 512 minus 2, 510. So 9 bits will be fine. Okay, so let's put the new subnet mask in. So it's 111.111. That's our standard subnet mask so far. Still standard. And now we're going to go into the next bit. Yeah. And we said we need 9 bits. So our division line is here. And then we've got our subnet mask here. So let me just point out the host portion. Let me just get in here. This is now my host portion. Yeah, this is where I put all my hosts, and in 9 bits should give me comfortably 500 hosts, so possible hosts. As a matter of fact, I do get 510. Okay, this is now my subnet portion. Yeah, that's what I've where I've eaten into my host portion, and I extended my subnet mask. Okay, so the division line is just at this point here. Yeah. Host, and if you follow the cursor, this is subnet, and this is a network. Okay. Right, let's flesh it out and see what we need to do here. We've got another stipulation here, which is we need the third subnetwork. Let's do a binary count from this point here. So this would be my first subnet. Yeah. Then if I do this in binary, yeah, bearing in mind you're just counting from where the subnet starts. Yeah, from this bit onward. This is where you do your binary count from. So this will be my second subnet. And then if I increment it by 1, that will be my third subnet. Yeah? And again, what we are looking at is just that bit here. And remember, always go into binary when you do this stuff. If you try to sort it all out in decimal, if you're a genius, it'll be okay. You can do it. If you're on your way to being a genius or becoming a genius, you better go into binary and do it from there. Okay, so you've seen it. This is now my third network, and then we'll already have our first network address, and let's put it all in. First of all, the subnet mask. Yeah? The new subnet mask is 255.255.254 because we leave out the last bit, and then .0. That's our new subnet mask. And so we can just highlight the one we've copied here in binary. Copy, and we go to our document here. And what's the first bits in the subnet? Can we see how many bits in the subnet? We've got 7. Yeah, 7 bits in the subnet. IP mask in binary. A new IP. So we've got 255.255.254.0. Maximum number of usable subnets, including the 0 subnet. Okay. Let's have a look. So we've got how many bits? 7 bits. 2 to the power of 7 is 128. Yeah. You can do this on your calculator. And the easiest way is just 8 bits gives you 256 divided by half, and then you've got 7 bits. And you get 128 different combinations. So you can have, including the 0 subnet, 128 subnets. Okay, maximum number of usable hosts. Yeah, we've got 9 bits. 8 gives me 256. Minus 2 is 254. Here we've got 512 minus 2, which is 510. Okay, again, 510. Right, what else have we got? We've got the network address, which is already here. Yeah? All I need to do is turn this into decimal. So it's 172, that bit here is 16. And what have we got here? We've got, again, we need to come from this decimal point. So it's not 3, but it's 8 and, what have we got? I'm getting tired. So it's 4 and 2, which is 6, yeah. Okay, let's put it down here. So it's 172.16.6.0, yeah. And the first IP is obviously straightforward, so we just increment it by 1, and then we get 172.16 .6 what's the next one? What did I say? 1, yeah. And now the next one gets a little bit confusing because I have to turn everything to 1 other than the last one. So we've got a 1 here, and then that means the second octet is going to change as well. And then we've got a couple of 1s there, 1 there, and that there. So this is now no longer 6 but 7. Yeah, so we've got 172.16.7 and then the remainder is 254. And then my broadcast address would be, whoops, I'm messing about here with the formatting, 172.16.7.254. Right, so that's all our binary done. And bear in mind, when you do these tasks, if you just get the subnet mask right, you get about half the points. If you get the all the IP addressing right, that was wrong, wasn't it? It's 255. Because what we need to do is, for the broadcast address, just set that one to 1. I'm getting tired here, but anyway, that's the way it's done, and that's the way you have to go through. I think somewhere in the document there's a stipulation where it says which IP address to use for where. I can't find it now. Okay, let's assume there's no stipulation. So the first IP address is normally the router, and anybody else for the host device. So for my first addresses, let's have a look at subnet A. I've got 172.16.17 for the router. So let's do this. 172.16.1. Sorry, that was a 0. 0.17 for the router. And my subnet mask, and I just need to, let me just maximize it. We don't need nopod anymore. Have you got my subnet mask? The subnet mask is 255.255.240. You can see this up here. So we're looking at the first network here. So it's 255.255.255.240. The router doesn't need a gateway. Now we've got the host on the same subnetwork. And again, it's 172.16.0.18. Okay, that's one above the router. Same subnet mask. 240. And then for the gateway, we've got this address here. That's just a router address already. That's all it is. Sometimes a bit confusing. You wonder why don't they call it gateway, or router, the router address. But it's called gateway address. Okay, so 16, then 0.17. Yeah. So don't get it confused. Use that one here. I think I've seen one paper where it was stated you should use the last usable IP address for the host and the first one for the router, or the other way around. Anyway, it's up to you. The main thing is it works, and it fits in with the stipulation you've been given. So if it tells you you should do it that way, then you do it that way. If it doesn't, then obviously it doesn't matter. Okay, the next IP address. So we've got it down here. So the host, let's use the second one for the host, which would be 172.16.6.2. That's a host. Then we've got 255.255.254.0. And the gateway would be the router address. So again, we use 172.16.6.1, our first usable IP address. Do the same here. 172.16.6.1. And then the subnet mask obviously has got to be the same as for that of the host, otherwise the host and the default gateway will be on different networks. Okay, so we've got this done. And again, you got another 11 points for that, and you are on the next bit. Okay, now we need to configure the physical computers, and I'm going to go into Packet Tracer to set up the network. I'm not going to do the whole exercise. I'm just going to do enough to make sure you can pass. So the bulk is this bit here, and then obviously you need to, and this is the next bit you prove. You need to prove that you can use Packet Tracer. so you can use it on your system. And I hope I've got Packet Tracer installed on this computer, otherwise you will see this film without the next bit, and I'll make a second film after I've installed it. Right. Okay, I'm just going to minimize this. Let's have a look for Packet Tracer. Cisco Packet Tracer, here we go, yeah. Lucky me, I did install it. I wasn't sure whether I had installed it, but I have. Okay, Packet Tracer, here we go. Okay, that was just, I think, the automatic update thing. It's an older version, enough for what we are doing, but it... okay. Enough for what we are doing, but we will carry on here with Packet Tracer. Right, okay, we'll carry on with our Packet Tracer exercise. And we put everything in there. The first thing we have is a router. Doesn't really matter, so let's have a look at the diagram before we go any further with Packet Tracer. Okay, we're going to go back to the diagram. We've got this diagram here. So it's router 1, we need a fast Ethernet interface 00 and 01. So we need two fast internet interfaces. And a switch, the assignment doesn't tell us to configure the switch, so we can use any switch. And then we've got two computers here and there. Okay, back to Packet Tracer. So first of all, we get a generic router. We've got our router here. Then we've got our desktops. Let's have a look. End devices. So we've got a generic PC. Stick one here. Stick one there. And then we need a switch as well. I forgot it. Switches. Any switch will do. Let's take this one here. And we should be okay with that. Okay, let's do all the connections. When we look at our diagram, here we go. We've got a crossover cable here because it goes directly from house or from computer to the router, and then we've got straight through cables here. Another straight through cable there, and then this is a console cable. Good, let's kit it all out. So we're going to go to our cables, to our connections. First of all, we need to check out whether our router, it's a generic router, whether it has two fast Ethernet interfaces. And there's one here, and there's one there. So we should be okay. Whoops, I didn't want to move this. Okay, let's give it a go. So we start off with a crossover cable. Here we go. We're going to click on here. Gives us the option RS232 fast Ethernet. We want to go to fast Ethernet. And then we click on the router, and that side was fast Ethernet 00. You can check this here. That's very important that we get it right, otherwise it gets all confusing. This is fast Ethernet 00. Okay, we're going to go back again. Then we're going to we've got this device here. Has it got an Ethernet card? There should be one in. Yeah, one is in there, so everything should be okay. So we're going to take a straight through cable, copper straight through. Going to go from here to fast Ethernet. We're going to go to the switch, and we can take any port here. does it specify? Let's have a look what that specifies, and then we may as well just stick with the right port. It says fast Ethernet 02 and fast Ethernet 01. Okay. So do this again, go here. So fast Ethernet 02. And didn't want this, I just wanted another cable. So another straight through. Fast Ethernet 01. And that one goes to fast Ethernet 10 on the router. Okay, now we've got the console cable, which is that one here. It says console, and that is plugged in into the RS232 port. It's the only one available. And then it goes to the console port, since it is a console cable. And that's our little diagram. It's all done. Now the question is, why does that thing not work? I guess I would say the ports are not switched on the router. Okay, let's do all the configurations. Shall we start with the PC? So we're gonna go to the PC, gonna go to config, then we'll go to fast Ethernet. We quickly look at, this is subnet A. Let's see what subnet A says, what we need to put in there. We should have all the information here. So the host PC is 172.16.0.18, and that's a subnet mask. So we're gonna go in here, 172.16.0. What did we say? 18. I didn't like it. Try again. 172.16.0.18. The subnet mask is 255.255. That's a default subnet mask. We're going to change it to 255.240. Yeah, the same as in there. Okay, we're quickly going to check it. That's what we've got. 18, that's right. The router interface is 17, and we've got the gateway as well. It's very important. If you don't put the gateway information in, it's simply not going to work. Okay, let's put the gateway information in. So we go to settings. Here's the gateway settings. So it's 172.16.0.17. Now, we don't need to put a DNS server in. It's not asking for it. Okay, fast Ethernet. That's all done. That's all done. Yeah. Okay. Now we'll go to the router. Have we done everything? We've done everything. Let's go to the router, and we'll go to the configuration. First of all, it's fast Ethernet 00. That's this side. Notice it's always switched on, so I can configure it, but I must not forget to switch it on again. Okay, so it's 172.16.0.17, and we can quickly check this. When you see here router, that's 17, that's the gateway information, and here we go, it's a router, and this is my subnet mask 255.255.255.240. Okay, let's put it in. 255.240. Okay, and I'm going to switch it on as well, and let's see what's happening. Voila! Those little lights which were red, you can still see they are red from there to there. They have turned to green, so there's some activity going on. If I want to check it, I can just ping the interface. So I'm going to go to my computer, and I can verify that the connection is working. So I can ping 172.16.0.17. Yeah. And we get a reply. So we know that we can ping the interface, and all my IP settings are okay. So if I've got a problem with the gateway, or I've forgotten to put the gateway in, or I put the wrong gateway in, I would have a problem. Would I? Actually, no, not at this stage. It's only if I want to go beyond the router, if I want to go to the other side of the router, which I cannot do at this time. But what it sort of makes clear is that the IP addressing on the host and the router itself works. And the router obviously will serve as a gateway as well. But even if the gateway information this instant, if it's wrong, it wouldn't make a difference, because on the local area network, it would only make a difference if I try to ping something across the router and my gateway information isn't right. Then it starts throwing a wobbler. Okay, let's configure the second PC. Here we go. So first of all, the Ethernet interface, and just to remind ourselves, we're going to look what this should be. So we've got host 2, it's 172.16.6.2, and that's my subnet mask, 255.255.254.0. Okay, let's give it a go. So we've got 172.16.6.2, that's right. And we've got 255.255, and here we've got 254. Quick check. That's correct. Then we need to configure the gateway as well. So if you go to global and then settings here, we've got the gateway information, and never forget the gateway, otherwise it doesn't work. So it's 172.16.6.1. That's our gateway. Again, we can check this quickly here. Yeah, that's a gateway here. You can see this here. That's our gateway information. Or it's the same as our router. Whoops, that's our router. Okay, now I just have to configure the router, and everything should kind of spring into action. Let me just close this down. And you can still see there are 2 red dots, and the reason is that the interface hasn't been turned on yet. But we are going to do this straight away. So we're going to look at FA10. Voila, everything is switched off. Quickly, our information, we've got 172.16.6 and 1. Yeah, that's our IP address. So we've got 1, that was wrong. Let me just go back in the right field. 172.16.6.1. And then our subnet mask would be, let me just correct this, 254.0. And now we're going to switch it on. Voila. Yeah. And you can see, the switch is still struggling a little bit. It needs to read in, update its COM table to realize what's there. So it listens a bit, negotiates a bit. In a minute, this little light there should go to green. Okay. But what we can do in the meantime, we should be able to ping the other side of the router. We can quickly check this. Yeah. So I'm going to have my ping command, and the other side of the router was 6, and then we got a 1. Yeah. And it says unreachable, and it's unreachable because I typed in a 5. I got the wrong key. Try again, 6, and we get a reply. Yeah. So we know the other side of the router works as well, and let's have a quick look. And the little light has gone to green, which means the switch has recognized it. So we should be able to go across the switch all the way to this computer here, and we'll just try this. So the computer there has got 2 as the IP address. And voila, we've got a response. Yeah. It's interesting as well. It's a simulator, but it tries to sort of make your heart jump a little bit by coming up. No, it doesn't work, and then it says, yeah, but it works now. Anyway, so we've done this, but we've still got a few tasks to do, and I'm not going to do them all. I'm just going to do a couple of them, and then the rest should be a little bit of a challenge for you to find out as well. Okay, but so far, one thing we have done is we have done our subnetting. We've configured this computer. We've configured this computer here. And our router is sort of kicking in and working, but we still want to sort of do some configuration on here. Okay, let's have a look at our sheet, and I'm just going to do a couple of things. And when you've done them all, it should give you more than 70%, and it should be okay. Okay, what else have we got? We have got, this task here. Let's have a quick look of what they're looking for. We've got host 1 and host 2. And they just want to know what the description is and the physical address. Okay, we can do this all from the command prompt. Let's go back into Packet Tracer. Here we are in Packet Tracer, and I'm not quite sure which host we are on. Let's have a look. Switch 1, PC. Here we go, Packet Tracer. Let's do the first one. We go to the command prompt, and all they want to know really with this exercise, whether you know this magic command ipconfig all. Yeah, I'm going to type it in, and not sure, you're not getting that much here, but you should get a little bit more. I'm just going to do this on the real computer here so you can see what you should be getting. So I'm just going to type in cmd and then ipconfig /all. And you get like loads and lots of stuff, yeah. Just to show you what you get. You get a physical description, something like this: Realtek, RTL, wireless LAN, blah de blah. And that's the first thing thereafter. Unfortunately, you don't get it here in the simulator. It doesn't give you anything. It just says physical addresses, blah de blah, and the rest is like that. Okay, what are we going to do? As far as I'm concerned in the exam, you just call it FA00 or what have we got here? Let's have a look what they give us. It's fast Ethernet, yeah. Have you got a description here? There's no description in here either. Okay, it doesn't matter. So let's have a look. We do this. So it's fast Ethernet, FA, yeah. Interface, physical address. Okay, this is from my computer. Let's go back to Packet Tracer, and here we go. I can take it from here as well. I'll do it from here. It's a bit faster to copy. Yeah. So we've got our physical address, paste. Then the IP address, yeah, which for the first one is 172.168.0.2. Is this right? I'm not sure. Let's have a look. Above, it's pretty much the same as what we used above. No, it's 18, isn't it? Host 1 is 18. So we use 18. Subnet mask is the weird one, so it's 255.255.255.240. And default gateway would be 172.168.0.17. Yeah. And for the next one, let's go into Packet Tracer. And what we're interested in is this one here. And we've got our fast Ethernet interface. We've got the thing. Got it. And actually no, that's one below. So and just got a fast Ethernet, yeah, FA, IP address 172.168. I'm doing a lot of mistakes here. Means I'm getting tired. It's 172.16 obviously, not 192.168. So 172.16, and then we've got 6 and 2. The subnet mask is 255.255.254.0, and then the default gateway is 172.16.1. Yeah. So we've done that as well. So you get some points for that as well. And then we have just got one last thing, which is the router. The only things I'm going to look at is how to change the router name, encrypted password, yeah, and I'm going to do the banner MOTD, what to do, and then we leave it at that, and that should give you enough points to pass. Leave it for you to figure out the rest. Okay, so we are here. Now, there are two ways of configuring a router. One of them is to do it via the console. Let's do it via the console. So we're going to go to our desktop. Yeah. We're going to close this down, and we're going to go to our terminal. Yeah. These are the default terminal settings. Click on OK. And now I'm actually talking to the router. So let's go out and show you how to do this. Just type in exit to get out. Now type in exit one more time. Okay, press return to get started. So I get started, and you get this little icon here, which means I can't configure anything. I can't do anything. I can just log in and do some basic things. Okay, so the first one is this enable. When I go to enable, I'm in the next mode, which will then allow me to start configuring this computer. And normally I should have been asked a password to try and go in. Okay, let's do the first thing. The first thing is just changing the router name. I need to do config t. That's my first command. And now I can configure the router, and you can see this config thing here. Okay, so first of all, host name, yeah, and I want to change it. I'm going to call my router rabbit1, yeah. And you can see my router is changed to rabbit1, yeah. Password, call it Cisco, and doesn't like it. Let's have a look. Enable password. Here we go. That was a mistake. Cisco. Okay, we've done it. Enable password is Cisco, so we've done that as well. It's password protected. And then banner MOTD. MOTD stands for message of the day. And what shall we call it? Put a $sign. Now unauthorized access. Okay. By the way, banner MOTD, message of the day, what is it for? The whole idea is you should put something on the router. For example, mistake is if you put welcome. This is router rabbit1. People might take it as an invitation to hack. So if you get hacked and the whole thing goes to court, then the judge might say you said welcome. Yeah, and so people get in. But if you say no, unauthorized access permitted, then obviously you've got some way to try and get the hacker done. Okay, exit. Press return, and you see here no unauthorized access permitted. Okay, fair enough. We've done this. Then we've got enable. It asks for a password. Type my password in Cisco, and I'm in. Yeah. Okay, just a couple of things. We've changed the host name. We've changed the message of the day. We've changed that. A couple of challenges. I leave this for you to find out. And then the last bit of the exam. Yeah. Let me just tell you one really important thing before I stop this here. Oops. Copy startup. Copy running config. Startup config. Okay, if you don't learn anything from this course, this is what you should learn. Yeah. If you okay, the only thing, if you don't learn anything else from this course, and this is that you should always copy your running config. The nightmare is your router will run fine and everything is hunky-dory, and then suddenly somebody comes, disconnects the power supply of the router. The router boots back up again when the power is reconnected, but the running config is lost. So you have to copy to the startup config. Okay, so we've done this. To exit, okay, all done. And now we have to do all the pinging game. And this is the last bit. So IP address, ping result. So we ping everything across the network. We can do this here. Let's go back in our packet tracer and see. I mean, we've done it already to some extent, but let's do it for real. Right. We're going to take the command prompt just to figure out who we are. So we type in IP config. So, oops, IP config. So I know my own IP address. Okay, it's 172.16.18. The first one is ping and then 172.0.0.1. It works, so that means I'm pinging myself. The next ping is my own IP address. 116.0.18. Yeah, and I should put the ping in front of it. Okay, that works. Then I'm going to ping the gateway. So that would be 17. Gateway works. Then I'm going to ping the next one, which would be 6.1. That's a gateway on the other side of the router. I'm going to get a response from that as well. And then I'm going to ping the computer on the other side, which is that one. Yeah. And what I've now established is that all pings work. I can ping myself, I can ping my own IP address, I can ping the gateway, I can ping across the router or the interface on the other side of the router, and I can ping the host on the other side. And with that, I've proven that my whole network is functional. And that's it. That's the practical exam. So not that hard, but it's just like a lot of little niggly things to remember. Yeah. And then obviously just a few extra things, a little bit of a bonus for you if you want to go for 100%. Okay, thanks for watching.